Hello and welcome to Cut Into the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello. Sorry.
Hello. And Mike.
Hello.
And today we're going to discuss the Hopi Indian prophecies, the Native American tribe. Come up with some interesting theories about the future or what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll delve into their little mythology a little bit. There's some aliens involved. It'll be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun, we promise. Do you want to explain the format of the show?
Yeah, why not? It's something I do every week. So first, before we get to the main...
you do, he's not complaining.
Oh yeah.
Some people.
On you go. You couldn't see that, listener. Mike and I were just looking at each other, shaking our heads in exacerbation.
Some people.
Do your bloody job, Ben.
So first we'll delve into the world of weird news before we get to the main thrust of today's topic, and this will take 20 minutes, half an hour. We may need a slash. Then we'll crack on.
We will.
So what you got then, Mike?
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
Fire it up.
From the Mirror, UK paper, nearly half of Brits believe that demons, witches and vampires are living among them.
Holy shit.
Nearly half.
A study found that 2/3 of Brits believe in magic, while almost 1/3 of us believe vampires are real.
That is astonishing. That is astonishing.
Well, we don't know what the source of...
2/3 of Brits.
But we don't know the
you're
size
right.
of the...
It should say 2/3 of the people polled in this ridiculous, stupid poll answered by the kinds of people who answer fucking polls which are called, do you believe in demons, witches or vampires?
Yeah. Okay, you got to
believe that they're real.
But
idiots, Mike.
Yeah, but at first glance, that is a shocking statistic.
I wouldn't believe that, nearly half.
2/3
Or maybe,
believe in magic.
maybe half do. It's not the sort of thing you talk about, you know, at the vending machine at
Believe
work.
in magic?
Well, I believe in sex magic.
Well,
That's
yeah.
magic with a K, that's completely different.
Yeah, you know, the power of positive thought.
Yeah, that's magic with a C. Believe me, I'm a member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn on Facebook. I know all about this shit now.
Yeah, well, is that like Mike being a member of the Jedi Knights?
Yeah, probably.
Where he signed up, but he hasn't actually done anything yet.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm working towards it.
I suppose it's not the sort of thing, is it? How would you know someone believes in demons? Like, you don't go around questioning everyone you work with or everyone in your family. How do you feel on the subject of witches, vampires and demons?
Do you believe him?
Yes. Because, well, I don't know.
Anyway, let's see what the article says. So, spooky neck. We're surrounded by witches, vampires and demons, according to new research, and they even masquerade as colleagues and put curses on us while we're at work, the bastards. A study of our belief in the supernatural has found 2/3 of us believe in magic, while up to 29% think that vampires are real.
Oh, fuck.
45% said it's highly likely the bloodsuckers are secretly living among us, along with witches and demons. Well, there are witches, aren't there? There's people who practice Wicca, who class themselves as witches.
I
How
would
effective
argue,
their magic is.
That's what my argument would be, yeah. But demons and vampires...
It's pushing it a bit, isn't it? They're the kind of people who call Tracy, who go to watch psychics in the pub.
Yeah, and tell me I'm mental for questioning the official 9/11 story.
You are.
But they... Am I fuck you? Never mind Building 7. Building 6, motherfucker!
How many buildings were there?
Exactly! I've gone right down the rabbit hole. No one ever talks about Building 6.
What was in Building 6?
What a big fucking chunk of it went missing.
What was in it?
I don't know. I didn't look that far down the rabbit hole.
It must have had some kind of use.
Exactly! For some reason it was demolished in the attack.
It was a CIA sex parlour.
Something, probably
There
where
was
they kept all the...
where they kept all the records was destroyed.
That was
number
Building 7, yeah.
Building 6 is probably where they kept the dildo locker. I don't know, the CIA dildo locker.
The Kennedy sex rooms.
Yeah, I don't know, fuck. But either way, what was I talking about? Oh, because I'm obsessed. That's why. Sorry.
Well, so research commissioned by Sky One to launch new drama A Discovery of Witches, which is apparently quite good. I haven't seen it yet. Apparently it's quite good.
No, but what I'm fucking helling at is the fact that this survey was done by a television channel to promote a television programme coming up, and then probably given a little backhander to the newspaper, the Mirror, allegedly, which is carrying the story. And so, of course, it's big news. Half of people believe in it.
Well, yeah, it's not exactly a scientific study, is it?
It quizzed its
No.
workers.
But it's
It
interesting.
was probably a
insight.
Facebook poll.
It
Maybe,
quizzed its
but it's-
workers. It says there. A poll found that 20% of its workers thought a colleague had put a spell on them. While
Put a
13%,
spell on.
13% quizzed admitted they tried to curse an office rival.
Fuck it
They've
up.
tried to curse somebody.
I am sick of David touching my fucking stapler.
I curse you,
I'm gonna
David!
Curse his whole family. I'm gonna give his mum fucking womb cancer.
And his dad cockrot.
Or they could just cut his brakes.
Yeah.
That would make more sense.
Well, you could
Don't
just move
curse him.
some of his
just-
stuff around his desk
Yeah.
in a sort of passive-aggressive
Yeah.
revenge.
Eat his lunch.
Yeah. Fuck his wife. I don't know.
Whatever.
David hasn't got a wife.
He may have.
Nah. Anyway.
Anyway, let's scroll down a little bit. It's not all bad PR for vampires. Around 37% said they're a turn on because they always look ageless. I think there's probably they quizzed a lot of Twilight fucking watchers here as well, didn't they?
They don't turn me on.
No.
And I'm a fucking pervert.
Fang's not doing it for you.
No. Yeah.
Just,
I mean, fangs wouldn't put me off.
Uh.
It's just they're not something I'm going to seek out. Just saying.
If you split up with it, would you have to say fangs for the memories?
Oh.
Does the article say that? Or was it? Oh my.
The poll was 1,500 people.
No.
You've got to be impressed.
Uh,
The memories.
no, I'd imagine she'd just rip your throat out after you'd said that.
Fangs for the memories.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still get that pudding at the end.
And then your vampire lover's like, this is why I'm leaving you. It's shit like this. You've always got to get the last pun in, even in desperately serious situations, mate.
Don't leave me, you're driving a stake through my heart.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
That's what you get for shagging a vampire.
it is. Never works.
No. Ever. Haven't you seen the films?
No, not that many of them.
Well, have we got all we're going to get out of this story?
Yeah, I think so. It's a
Well,
big
the
article.
poll of 1,500 also revealed 44% of us avidly read and believe our horoscopes.
Really? Wow.
I hate the way they word these things though. The poll of 1,500 also revealed 44% of us. No. 44% of that 1,500 read and believe our horoscopes. Don't tell me what I do. I don't like the way it's snooty. It's
Yeah,
telling
it
me
is.
what's what, and it's
Yeah.
It
not.
means a general population, doesn't it? It's
Well,
taking
you extrapolate. That's a hell of an extrapolation.
Well, of course
isn't
it
Yeah,
it?
is.
there's 60 million people in the
I
country.
I
mean-
interviewed 1,500 bellends with nothing better to do,
They
and I'm
int-
going to use that as a measuring stick
Yeah.
for the entire
They
population.
don't use much more than that to do the polls for the election.
No, that's true. It's like 500 or something like
No,
that.
it's more than that, I think, but it's about 5,000 maybe, but it's about...
You can never trust the polls, Mike.
You can't?
I don't know why I've heard someone say it before.
Well, yeah, they were
I don't
wildly
know what it
out.
You
means.
can trust the Polish though, they're nice
To
people.
tell you why they
Yeah,
were
nice guys.
mainly wildly out, because they were still phoning people on landlines. How many fucking people have landlines now?
Yeah, it's just the elderly.
Dirty conservatives.
Yeah, the elderly.
Yeah,
That's why,
what I
that's
mean.
why they thought the Conservatives were going to win by a landslide. And they got their fucking asses kicked.
Yay! So, right, so that's bollocks then, all that.
Of course it is. Fuck 'em.
Okay, we're on to the next piece of credible news.
From the Sun,
Woo!
Tupac Shakur is alive and living in Cuba. He claims a British bodyguard who he says he smuggled him there. Michael, is that Michael Nice, do you think?
Yeah.
Or Nice, we'll go with Nice, has sparked more theories by claiming he was part of the security team tasked with helping Tupac escape Las Vegas. Tupac Shakur is still alive and living in hiding in Cuba. The hit-em-up rapper was famously shot on the Las Vegas Strip back in '96 as he was leaving a Mike Tyson fight. He was aged just 25. Since then, conspiracy theories that he's actually survived the shooting and faked his death have continued to spread, including a photo that emerged on the internet last year. Michael Nyes has now sparked more theories by bizarrely claiming he was part of the security team tasked with helping Tupac escape Las Vegas. He told TMZ, "Why do you think no one had been arrested? If they said the one that killed Tupac. Wow, that's terrible. Terrible writing from the Sun."
It's awful, unless it was actually verbatim, and that's actually what
We'll try and read it, yeah, like in the act, it's like, where's this guy from, sorry?
It doesn't say. Just...
Oh, well, why do you think nobody been
he's
arrested?
British. He's British.
Oh, why do you think nobody been arrested if they said that the one they killed What?
Yes, I see.
Why do you think nobody been arrested if they said that they're the one that killed Tupac?
Ah, you got it, yeah. So, don't write it verbatim.
Yeah.
Because Tupac is not dead. If he was dead, they'd be arresting those dudes for murder. Well, I can't argue with his logic, but maybe there's a lot of unsolved murders.
There is. That's very true.
Yeah.
They're not all hiding in Cuba.
No.
Cuba.
You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar on an island. Cuba, then.
Yeah.
Michael claims he was party of the security team for the Black Panthers political party
There's
in the
another
90s.
typo.
Thing is, though, this guy's white. Why would he be in the Black Panther security team?
Security isn't a racial thing. You know, the most qualified man for the job.
Yeah, but the Black Panthers were an ultra-nationalist black organisation, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They probably wouldn't have got a white guy into security for. They wouldn't trust him.
well, according to him, they did.
I think he's telling some porkies.
Well, he says he's part of the security. What part was he? You know, was he just
Exactly.
a lowly bodyguard?
Was he the guy that did the
He could have been,
paperwork back
he
in
could
the
have been
office?
on the toll gate at the fucking headquarters
Yeah.
in a little security office thing.
Maybe in that little booth.
Can I see your pass? On you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'll be it. Anyway, or he could have been part of the main security team protecting the most badass of the badass.
Maybe. Well, he says anyway that the rapper was only injured on September 7th, 1996 and was rushed out the country. He said, "It was me, my brother, the pilot, Tupac and the co-pilot, and 2 Panther guys on the jet. We took off and immediately knew we were safe. We felt good. It was like escaping from prison. There were hugs and handshakes and we finally managed to get him to Barbados." And there's a picture of an older looking Tupac. And Michael then added, "Then my brother helped him get to Cuba from there." Yeah. So he reckons he's helped Tupac secure escape to Cuba.
Well, according to the article, the latest sighting came after the internet went wild 2 years ago over claims that Tupac had been photographed apparently living a new life in Cuba. Tupac was infamously gunned down on September 7th whilst driving through Las Vegas. He died in hospital 6 days later.
I didn't think he was driving through. I thought he was getting into a car.
No, he was in a car. They pulled up alongside it.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop.
He wasn't driving though.
No, he wasn't driving. I don't think. No, he wasn't.
I did listen to that episode on Tupac and Biggie
And
on
they
the last podcast on the left.
They'd just
got
beaten
interesting,
somebody.
actually.
Well, they just got into a fight in the casino, hadn't they?
Yeah.
The fight where the professional fight was happening, they got into an amateur fight. In the
Surge
foyer.
Knight got involved.
Yeah,
I
they
like Surge
legged it.
Knight though. He held Vanilla Ice upside down over a balcony. By
I think it's Shug Knight. I think he's called.
Suge Knight, yeah. That shows how down I am with rap music. Either way, I like his style because I'd hang Vanilla Ice over a balcony by his ankles as well while screaming, "Where's my money?"
You just hang Vanilla Ice. Crimes against humanity.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, Tupac lives.
Tupac lives.
Apparently, maybe he lives in a house with Elvis.
And Kurt Cobain and all the other famous...
No. Kurt Cobain, his head was on the ceiling. He's not there.
Faked his own death. Guy's got a hobo. Put a hobo in a wig.
No, his brains are on the roof.
No.
He's not there. It's just Elvis and Tupac collaborating.
Oh man, that'd be shit.
No, it wouldn't. Oh, we're in Barbados. Yeah, motherfucker. Oh, cut that bit out. Holy shit. First time it's happened. Stop talking so we can cut it out. Oh, fuck. Or just bleep it.
Leave it in, man.
Fuck.
Okay, if you move on.
It just came, I was trying to think of the most Tupac thing to say in a rap song and Fuck.
Oh well. Would you like to hear about the size 30 woman who claims she shed half her own body weight by drinking her own urine?
Oh, dear God.
Can I stick with the racist words? No, I'm joking.
I know you
Please-
said we're the burning man in a podcast.
Please don't. I didn't mean it. Like, I was playing the part. Oh God. Moving on.
A woman who lost 9.5 stone has credited her incredible weight loss to drinking her own urine. Leah Sampson, 46, says she's managed to shed the pounds thanks to drinking her own wee, as well as using to brush her teeth, wash her hair, and even rinse her eyes.
Rinse her eyes! That's going to sting, innit?
I bet she's popular with her friends, going in there smelling of piss all the time.
Old pissy eyes. Well, old pissy eyes is back.
Leah, a mother of 2 from Alberta, Canada, saw her weight creep up to 18 stone 12 pounds and was wearing a UK size 30 after a lifetime of indulging what she calls a standard American diet with lots of beef, pork and chicken. As well as suffering from chronic fatigue, Leah says her hands and arms became so numb she couldn't wash her hair. The pain she was in left Leah feeling she didn't want to live anymore, but it was then she came across urine therapy and decided to give it a whirl.
Why didn't you try a diet first?
Yeah, fucking hell. Just cut out the beef and the pork, and you don't have to add the piss.
Well, you'll see later on that this woman is clearly slightly deluded in her beliefs. She also follows what is called a hunter-gatherer diet, meaning she ditched heavily processed foods in favour of more natural food.
That's probably what's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's helping with the weight loss.
She now weighs
I'm
10
not a doctor,
stone,
though.
£10, wears a UK size 14 and is hoping to help and inspire others.
So what? Drink their piss and rub it in their eyes? Well, good luck with that, love.
At the age of 40, I was losing so much function in my arms I couldn't wash my own hair. I cried out in tears to God, begged and prayed for answers, telling God that I would do whatever He wanted me to do if He would only heal me.
You're going to drink your own piss?
A few
Don't laugh,
moments-
innit?
Rub it in your eyes.
If
It's
you-
alright, I'll hear you, but you have to drink your own piss.
Yeah.
So she's made some
Oh,
kind.
no.
How does she know she's made that pact with God? What if she's made it with the devil?
Yeah,
What
it
if she's made
sounds a
some
bit more
kind of
like
Faustian
Satan's.
bargain?
Sounds a bit more like Satan having a laugh, doesn't it? Than
Yeah. All right, I'll give it your weight, but you've got to drink your own piss and rub it in your eyes.
Well, you're assuming that God is a benevolent being from the
Well,
Bible. We know that it's not. He's a psychopathic,
All I'm saying-
genocidal maniac.
All I'm saying is,
He's a jealous God and a wrathful God.
according to his own PR agency, he's now awesome.
and he's also into fucking water sports. According to this. Oh, I could watch you rub that piss in your hair all
I
day.
love a fat bird rubbing piss in her face.
Oh, this is why it's the best thing about being God.
This is why I created you fuckers.
Oh, she can't even see me touching myself.
She's got piss in her eyes.
A few moments, she goes on to say that a few moments after that prayer, her friend sent her a YouTube video of Andrew Norton Webber with Lisa Harrison regarding distilled water and its benefits to my physical, emotional, even spiritual health. I realised this was a sign our Creator had sent me, and if I wanted to become well, I would need to re-ingest my urine like I did when I was a fetus.
Wow.
Do you want to hear what she did?
Well, if you must.
I stood up in the bathtub and urinated into my hands and drank it. I noted immediately that I ingested too much sodium and failed to begin removing sodium from my diet immediately. Within moments I realised how much better I felt, so I thanked God, and then was told that I would have to go out and share urine therapy with people. Although there's no scientific evidence to back up the reported benefits of drinking piss, it says piss, Leah reckons it's a secret to a drastic weight loss and vows to keep it up. I still drink my urine to keep off the weight and will continue to do so for the rest of my life, she said. Here's a pissy breath.
Knock yourself out, piss with brain.
Nothing to do with the change of diet, and by the looks of it, probably some exercise.
I capture my urine midstream after 3 a.m, drink about half of it and then sip the rest of it throughout the day, brushing my teeth whilst also swishing my mouth and gargling with it. I collect my urine in glass jars throughout the day and shower with it at night. Fucking hell.
I wouldn't like to sit next to her on the bus.
No.
That's all I'll say.
No.
I mean, have you ever, got too close to a homeless person?
Mm.
And
Sadly, there's been a few elderly people on the bus who...
have pissed themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor people. And it stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I'm calling for compulsory euthanasia for the over 75s.
she's rubbing it into her paws and her eyeballs.
Surely she
soaking her hair with
Isn't
it.
there something about what diseases you get from getting piss in your eyes or not washing your hands?
Yeah, I
over
think
your
it's
eyes?
different if it's your piss, but like if you piss in my face, I think that's worse than
I
me
do while you
pissing.
sleep.
Hey, that's worse than me pissing in my own face. I think. I'm not a doctor.
But piss is what your body excretes because it has no use for.
It's waste,
any longer.
isn't it?
It's waste.
But we're both looking at me. I haven't got the answers. I don't know. Piss therapy. Google it. I'm not trying it. I don't care how ill I feel.
No, I mean, bearing in mind that she gets up at 3 a.m. to piss, collects it, and then knock it back, and I'm going to quote the article, knock it back like some kind of energy drink where most of us are struggling to find a bathroom light.
Well,
It's no mean feat. And, yeah, all
I
right.
think clearly she's a pervert, isn't she?
Think there may be something to that.
Yeah.
Or certainly, when she mentioned she prayed and then God said, drink your own piss, you'll lose some weight. I think she's I think she's got some mental health issues.
Good luck to her. I'm just glad. Oh, look, there's a video there you can watch if you want, but we're not going to. We're not going to.
No, we're not.
Good luck to her.
It's not very clear.
I'm glad it's not me who kisses her goodnight. Yeah, she's dehydrated.
Yeah, she is
But,
dehydrated.
Yeah, I'm
Because she's
glad.
drinking her own piss all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think that does that conclude the weird news this week, or is there one
Yes,
more?
no, that's it. That's what we got for the now, so we'll come back to it at the end.
That was wonderful.
Can we call it a piss break? I don't need to drink
Please.
any, I
No,
just
I'm
need
not
to go.
going. Hopefully, I won't get any in my eyes.
Well, you can get a pink eye, isn't it? You get pink eye. If you don't wash your hands, rub your eyes, you get pink eye. You get an eye infection. So why hasn't she got continual pink eye?
Well, maybe maybe it's good for you. Anyway, fuck her and her piss.
Well, I saw it, I had to put it in.
Yeah, it's all. I'm glad I know about it, and I'm glad I can ignore it and not do it myself.
Fair enough. So let's call a quick piss break of our own.
Yes.
We won't drink each other's, we'll stick to our own.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back and we'll get on with the main thrust of today's topic, the Hopi prophecies.
Main burst.
And we're back. So, the Hopi prophecies. So, the Hopi are a Native American tribe who currently live in the Hopi Reservation in northeastern Arizona. That's kind of the region we're looking at, isn't it? Arizona, deserty, very much the stereotypical West. Red deserts and big rocky outcrops. According to a 2010 census, there were 19,338 Hopis in the USA. They were first encountered in the 16th century by the Spanish, or 1540. And ironically, they have weirdly, they have a high rate of albinoism, 1 in 200.
All right.
It's a lot of albinos. Were they nice to them, or did they shun them?
I presume they were nice to him. These
Well, they are
Native
the
American
peaceful-
guys are pretty chilled.
Well, this particular tribe, the Hopi,
They're
they
very
are like
chilled.
the peace tribe, aren't they, or something? I've got the correct thingy of that somewhere.
So they have these 9 prophecies, and it all sort of ties into their mythology a little bit. And the 9 signs of the ending of an age. We're in the 4th world right now. The 5th is upon us, once all the prophecies have been fulfilled.
What are the different worlds at?
First world was destroyed, and the people returned to the surface as ants for the duration of the second world. The third world had an advanced civilization with flying shields and wars between distant cities, and this world ended in floods. It's all very similar to Babylonian mythology and Aztec mythology. The Hopi are the caretakers of the fourth world in exchange for the privilege of living on the earth. The fifth world approaches with the Fire Clan set to return. And they're the star people as such, who we'll come to later on. Or the ant people. It's a little bit sort of mixed up.
It's oral tradition, isn't
Well,
it?
it's all, yeah.
So there are a few different versions here and there.
Sorry.
I mean, the prophecies themselves weren't published until 1959.
Yeah, I am a fan of strong oral tradition.
Who published them again? I forget his name.
Was it... The guy I attribute these to is a guy called White Feather, a Hopi of the ancient Bear Clan.
There's
There
also
was a white guy that wrote about it.
an
wasn't there?
independent researcher named Gary A. David spent 30 years of his life immersed in Native American culture and history.
Ah, like a man named Horse.
I guess, yeah.
You ever seen that film?
No.
It's about this English guy who's goes to America hunting and he gets captured by these Indians and they call him, they treat him like a horse, basically. He's an animal to them, but then he slowly, gradually worms his way into their society. Like, doesn't run away when he could have. He helps them out and they accept him, but they still call him Horse. He's a man called Horse. That's his.
A bit like Dancing with Wolves.
A little bit, except more brutal at the start because they're like kicking the shit out of him. And the Indians did like to torture people horrifically. Like,
Nice.
I'm sure the whites weren't much better.
oh no, but you didn't want to be captured by the Indians if you're a white guy.
White man came across the seas.
He brought us pain and
misery. Tune.
Yeah. So we'll start with number 1. Shall we? The first prophecy. We'll start at the beginning. We were told of the coming of the white-skinned man, like Fahara, which is Fahara ties into the mythology. He's like the white brother that will return, but he's meant to be friendly.
Okay. Friendly white man.
Yeah.
Like me.
Men who took the land was not theirs and who struck their enemies with thunder, and that's attributed to guns. So the white guy turning up with guns and stealing their land.
Yeah.
Well, that one come true, didn't it?
Yep. Number 2, our lands will see the coming of spinning wheels filled with voices. That is attributed to the covered wagons and the wagon trains.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fairly accurate.
Number 3, a strange beast like a buffalo but with long horns will overrun the land in large numbers. This is attributed to the longhorn cattle which are prevalent in the white man brought with them to settle in the area. Number 4, the land will be crossed by snakes of iron. This is attributed to railroads.
Of course.
Snakes of iron. That sounds so fucking cool.
Snakes of iron!
Yeah.
Sort of wooden track, isn't it?
Yeah.
Snakes of iron. Down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's itself, man.
This is number 1 in that. Number 5, the land shall be crisscrossed by a giant spider's web. This they attribute to power and telephone lines and the internet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Most from above it would look like that, wouldn't it?
Well, you've ever played Modern Warfare 2? Ever done the intro?
I haven't.
It's like the map of Europe and it gradually spreads out and it's like all these green lines connecting everything. It's showing like the connections between every city, every town. Yeah.
Sounds, yeah. They had it spot on, these ancient folks. They were smoking some hardcore shit and seeing some fucking vivid visions of the future, man.
Peyote, is it, they take?
They were probably doing ayahuasca. I don't know what they were doing, man. They were probably...
Isn't peyote the same?
It is hallucinogenic, but I've got no idea if it's as powerful as... It might be. I literally know nothing about it.
Up yours, Space Coyote!
But, yeah, they probably got us really high and seen some shit. Also, we're maybe visited by aliens.
Don't you
We'll
want to
get
go
to
and
that.
smoke a fucking peace pipe with a native Indian?
I would love that. I hope it's like in the seminal classic movie Shanghai Noon.
I was going to say Sausage Party.
Starring Jackie Chan, where they think he's one of them as well.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's brilliant. They sit him down and force him to smoke the peace pipe, and he's stoned as fuck. And it's great. It looks a lot of fun. You've never seen that? That's a fucking good movie. Sequel's not bad either. Shanghai Nights. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Fucking hell. Jackie Chan in cowboy times.
Yeah.
He's a Chinese god. He's got like a long braid that goes all the way down to his feet.
Yeah.
And at one point he ties a horseshoe to the end and then like swings it round and beats the fuck out of people with it.
Alright, he's got my attention.
Yeah. And then there's a point, how's this for a beat in an action movie? You know what's going to happen. The bad guy, because this is sacred, his long...
Oh, so he cuts his
thing.
braid off.
Oh yeah, somebody cuts it off.
Woo! Oh, but that doesn't go down well.
Yeah, check it out. Sorry, that was a tangent. That was unexpected.
Alright, fair enough. Number 6. The land shall be crisscrossed with rivers of stone that make pictures in the sun. And that is referred to the asphalt roads and the mirages they can conjure when you're out in the desert in bad amount of heat and...
Yeah.
Just motorways, interstates, freeways,
Yeah.
I think they're called in the States.
Yeah.
Interstates.
Number 7, you will hear of the sea turning black and many living things dying because of it. Obviously oil spills, there should be that one too.
Holy shit. Well, just the general pollution of the atmosphere, the sea.
Number 8, you will see many youths who wear their hair long like our people. Come and join the tribal nations to learn our ways and wisdom, and that's attributed to hippies, not you, Gaz.
I've got long hair now.
Yeah, but you're not living in the Native American Indian tradition.
According to that, I'm welcome.
Well, you're not welcome.
I will be
Things won't go-
welcomed. Don't be jealous that I will be welcomed in to have a joint with the chief and you won't.
I just think he'll just scalp you.
He won't. He's gonna encourage. He's gonna say you are the greatest white man I've ever met.
Aren't
You're
you,
not like the
aren't you
others.
that Donald Trump's son?
Yeah. He will marry me off with his daughter who looks like Pocahontas.
And then scalp you.
Yeah.
No, he
Carrying
won't.
the head of the White Devil. White Devil's son.
Oh, jealousy.
Oh, the last one, number 9.
Well, if it'd only take 5 minutes of you talking to him for him to fucking chase you off, won't it? That's a reference to a conversation we had off mic.
I'm not going to fall into the same trap as you did earlier.
Oh yeah, I'm the racist, aren't I? Shit.
Number 9. You will hear of a dwelling place in the heavens above the earth. The heavens above the earth that shall fall with a great crash. It will appear as a blue star. Very soon after this, the ceremonies of the Hopi people will cease. This can be attributed to Skylab, which re-entered the Earth's atmosphere on July the 11th, 1979, and appeared as it re-entered the atmosphere, it was described as a blue star falling. Or Maya, or the European Space Agency's ATV space vehicle, which came down in the early 2000s.
Or Planet X. Isn't it? Couldn't it?
Maybe.
Huh? See?
No,
Well, it could be maybe one day the moon's going to fall out, because these might not have all come true yet, or have they?
Well, if those are the actual prophecies, remember, not published till 1959, then yes, you'd argue that certainly 8 of them have.
Maybe one day the moon's going to fall out the sky. I don't know how, not a scientist. Just speculating, I'm a journalist.
Well, it's the blue star and red star Kachinas.
Isn't it Orion's got a lot to do with this as well, hasn't it? Isn't it?
Sirius is a blue star, isn't it?
Yes it is. But
Well,
Orion as well is because, like the Mayans, the Hopi were very good with stars and mapping them, and Orion was the one they used.
Strange, isn't it? These ancient, uncivilized people.
Remember, it goes dark, there's no light, you can see every star in the sky, you're going to spend time looking up at the sky,
Yeah,
and you're
but-
going to go, whoa, that was over there the other night.
Ben, I could look at the sky for 6 years in a row and still look back at you dribbling from one corner of my mouth and go, not everyone's, I
There's a
still
lot of
think it's
time to
impressive.
film.
I still think it's impressive that they were able to build things exactly in line with,
Yeah.
stars. Oh, I guess maybe it's not that hard now that I think. I don't know. I'm impressed. Obviously.
Yeah, because Orion synchronised with their solstice, their winter solstice, so when they saw the Orion star becoming brighter, they knew it was the winter season was coming.
Right.
Which, it's a basic form of calendar, isn't it? Most reasonably advanced civilizations have got that.
Good on him.
So the return of the blue star Kachina, who is also known as Nangash Sohu, probably pronounced that wrong, will be the alarm clock that tells us of a new way of life, a new world that is coming. This is where the changes will begin. They will start as fires that burn within us, and then we will burn with desires and conflict if we do not remember the original teachings and return to the peaceful way of life. So basically, man's inability to live on Earth with nature will lead to problems.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Are we not experiencing exactly that right now?
Yeah.
Problems with the climate. Animals are fucking disappearing faster than ever before.
And attacking us.
Attacking us. Overpopulation. Massive inequality.
Christ, I read this. I was in this conspiracy site, a conspiracy thing on Facebook, one of the groups, and this guy trying to argue that overpopulation's a myth and that the entire human population of the Earth can live in Canada, live in Alaska, with 200 foot square homes, and still there'd be plenty of room.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't done the math on
No,
this.
but I don't think it's true somehow.
I'm not confident enough to commit either way. Honestly, I don't know how big Alaska is. I don't know how many people there are.
I mean, most of it is taken up by our livestock.
Yeah, of course it is. An agriculture efforts.
30% human, 67% livestock, 3% 3% is the rest.
There's a lot. Fields are big. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Big fields.
Agriculture.
Yeah. I guess the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe there is room for everyone. Look, I don't have the answers. I am not a doctor.
Oh, no.
I am.
I don't know how big Alaska is.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big, but it's also pretty
Is it
inhospitable.
Yeah, I think it was just more sort of...
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Rather than let's all go there.
I'm sure the same could be said to the Sahara Desert, but no one's all going to go and move there because there's no water.
That's an issue.
Do you know what I mean?
Won't lie to you, that's an issue.
I like water.
Water's nice.
Some places are more habitable than others.
Yeah, I
I
think...
remember a lot of people crowd into cities.
Well, that's because that's a work is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they control you then. They're telling you there's overpopulation. This is the other part of the conspiracy theory. They're telling you there's overpopulation. Everyone's crowding the cities.
Yeah.
That's where they want you. They want you there. You're under control.
That's where they could send the fluoride.
Yeah.
Water.
I was actually reading, you said about radium the other week.
Mm.
And they're on about, like, you used to put in toothpaste and that. Well, you had these, radium used to go on clock faces and things like that because it glowed in the dark.
Yeah.
And you had these radium girls, they're called radium girls, and they were the ones painting it on to these in these factories.
Oh, shit.
And they'd suck the toothbrush, the paintbrush, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
They'd suck it to get it sort of like...
Sort of
Wet.
to a tip, to a
yeah,
fine
to
tip.
Fine tip. Of course, they're sucking in fucking
Oh,
radium.
this
Imagine.
one
Did they grow
example,
extra legs?
the one example I read is
No,
this,
it's got lots of mouth cancer.
yeah,
Oh.
this woman went to this one went to the
Not happy
dentist, right?
Mm.
And he noticed that she had an abscess growing on her jawbone, so he put her out and started doing a little exploratory surgery, and he literally her jawbone had rotted so much from the radium, he was scraping it out with his fingers.
Oh,
Wow, what a lovely story.
Thanks, man.
Back to the Hopi Indians.
Just eat some hash brownies.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking my jaw falling off.
Oh, man. I wish I hadn't smoked that. Well, I wish you hadn't told me about this jawbone scraping.
Oh yeah, man. It was like mush.
Back to our friends, the Hopi Indians.
Well, the Hopis believe that if you're not spiritually connected to the earth, in my words, you're fucked.
Well, most of us are. Fucked.
Yeah. Where do you want to go next? Do you want to have a look at the a little bit of mythology, or?
Yeah, go on.
Whatever you got, man.
Yeah. So the Hopi legends state that the inner earth is inhabited by ant people, and we're going to get to them at some point later on. Gaz has got a PowerPoint presentation for us.
I do. It's a academic investigation, which I did academically.
What's the title of this academic paper?
I'll save it for later.
Okay.
I
Don't you want to tantalise
Oh,
the
okay, I'll
listener?
tease you. It's ancient ant men versus ancient lizard men.
Ooh.
Oh,
So we'll get there.
can't wait for that.
Can I get an answer out of you who wins, or do I have to wait?
Well, that's what we're going to discuss.
Right, so there's artwork on various caves in the Hopi region of the Amazon, displaying the ant people. A lot of it strangely resembles modern grey alien encounters. Especially
Yeah.
the
Well, there's
little dudes with big heads.
big heads, shining discs.
Shining dicks.
Discs.
No, discs.
You filthy beast. Take your mind out of the gutter.
Shining shields.
Yeah, that's what they called them, shining shields. No, flying
Shiny,
shields.
glistening helmet.
I'm trying to give actual facts for the first time in weeks. Flying shields, they called them. But yes, these cave paintings do look remarkably like, a bug's life. It does look like a bug's life.
Oh, ants.
Yeah.
Would be a better one.
Yeah, the ugly cousin of Bug's Life. Bug's Life is Pixar,
I think I prefer ants.
Which is the one where they rise up and rebel?
I think that's
Was it
ants,
both of
isn't
them?
it? Is it both?
Could be
Possibly.
both.
They're all mixing into one in my
Yeah,
brain, to be
mate.
perfectly honest with you.
Sylvester Stallone's in it, isn't he?
That was ants, I think. He
Yeah, I
played
think that
the
was
big.
it.
But Bug's
big-
Life, they do rise up as well, don't they? They both got the same story. It's confusing.
I'm so confused. I feel like crying.
They're both
On the
good.
spot. Yeah, they're both good. Yeah, these cave paintings, look them up. They're pretty.
They're fun.
Yeah, they're fun. They are fun. They've got antennae.
Yeah.
Antenna.
Ant people. It's a weird one. Why ants?
Yeah. Well, do you know the myth of where the ant people came from?
The inner earth.
Yes, they.
If you go back to our Hollow Earth episode, didn't we talk about greys living in the Hollow Earth?
Well, these ants were very nice ants because they offered the Hopi, who were lost and they hadn't stored any food. They had no provisions.
It's careless.
And the ant people came up from the caves and shared food with the Indians and taught them the art of storing and preparing food. And
That's awesome.
And part of the legend is this is why today ants have such a thin waist at the bit where the front end of the ant joins the arse end of the ant.
The thorax.
The thorax, that's so thin, its little waist is tiny because they once sacrificed the food they'd saved to keep the Hopi alive.
Or ants just like big butts.
Yes. I mean, it's clearly bollocks, but that's the myth. And they like to... But I was talking to my lady friend earlier, and I was saying that maybe some dude just liked drawing weird people, because there's no reason to say they didn't have imagination, and wouldn't it be funny if a man had like ant things on his head? This will fuck with him in 1,000 years.
I'm kind of with you on that. I always think that, it's like, oh, yes, just because some dude drew something on a wall, it doesn't mean that he saw it.
Yeah, have you got the prophecy rock? The prophecy rock.
No, you can do that if you want.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the ancient equivalent of comic books, possibly, or it could be because he was visited by fucking ant-men and he was so freaked out about it that he had to primitively etch it into a rock.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know.
So the prophecy rock.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
There's a picture of a dude holding a stick with like a flag or something attached to it, and there's like a train, isn't there?
Yeah.
Timelines there.
Yeah, the timelines.
So you check it out, Google it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It shows that where the timeline diverged, according to a translation I saw on YouTube. The guy did look like a First Nation guy, given the translation though. Anyway, he said it's something like, it shows where the white man came along and then the Hopi, who were living under the white men, their timeline veered off and went up. And that way lies all the doom.
Should we explain it?
They've got to be pissed off, really, because, they're the guardians of the fourth world.
Yeah.
And the Americans just shot them and bummed
Do you want to read that, Ben?
Sorry.
The large human figure, although it helps if you Google this, on the left is the Great Spirit. The bow in his left hand represents his instructions to the Hopi to lay down their weapons. The vertical line to the right of the Great Spirit is a time scale in thousands of years. The point at which the Great Spirit touches the line is the time of his return. The life path established by the Great Spirit divides into the lower, narrow path of continuous life in harmony with nature and the wide upper road of white man's scientific achievements.
That's what you're explaining, Gaz, isn't it?
The bar between the paths, above the cross, is the coming of the white men, and the cross is that of Christianity. The circle below the cross represents the continuous path of life. The four small human figures on the upper road represent on one level the past, 3 worlds, and the present. On another level, the figures indicate that some of the Hopi will travel the white man's path, having been seduced by its glamour. So is that the casinos?
Yeah, and the alcohol and the
Prostitution
and the cocaine.
The
All the good shit that we've got.
And
Segas.
the main thing is also the dislocating away from nature.
Yes,
sort
I
of.
think that's the main point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but cocaine! Woo!
Nicotine value, alcohol, marijuana,
Well, they've got peyote,
cocaine.
so...
Yeah, that's true. But, hey.
Yeah.
Well, you can't describe what happened as... But, hey, it's a horrible, tragic in recent history, but tragic event. But, hey.
So the four, you've done the four.
Yeah, the 2 circles.
So the 2 circles on the lower path of life are the great shaking of the earth, World Wars 1 and 2. Well, that's a bit of a push, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it could... I would have gone for the earthquakes and things that would more likely be the great shaking of the earth, or am I thinking too literally?
Maybe it's prophecy, who knows? There's no right and wrong answers in prophecy.
That's very true. Well, there should be fucking right ones, that's what makes it a prophecy.
There should be, but they're all deliberately vague.
There's a lot of different interpretations, isn't there?
The swastika in the sun and the Celtic cross represent the 2 helpers of Pahana, the true white brother who we mentioned earlier. And the short line that returns to the straight path of life is the last chance for people to turn back to nature before the upper road disintegrates and dissipates. The small circle above the path of life after the last chance is the great purification, after which corn will grow in abundance again when the Great Spirit returns and the path of life continues forever. So it's all one big circle then, really. As long as we stick with nature, it's all one big circle.
The snake eating its own tail.
Ouroboros.
Yes.
Ouroboros. Boys and the Dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a prophecy rock.
Yeah, Prophecy Rock. Prophecy Rock! It's going to be a war!
Yeah, that could be a new type of music that we invent, where we just prophecies, but in the form of rock and roll. So
Yeah.
We'll become mega rich. We'll be like religious figures and rock stars.
Wow.
Get right in, Mike. Think on your prophecies.
That's it, yeah.
So I think, so you got the Hopi deities.
Go for it.
A few of them. Tawa is the sun spirit. He's the creator of the first world and its inhabitants. The spider woman or spider grandmother, that sounds creepy as fuck, is the messenger of the Tawa.
Doesn't sound like a sweet old grandma, does it?
No.
Spider granny.
That's a show I don't want to see.
I don't want to visit her.
Masa Uwu, I think. Pronunciation not my strong point, as we learned from the Amish and Riku episodes. He's the skeleton man, the spirit of death, the earth god and doorkeeper to the fifth world, and the keeper of fire. Oh yeah!
I want that after my name. There I go.
Skeleton man, spirit of death, earth god, doorkeeper to the fifth world, and keeper of fire. All of that, or just keeper of fire?
All of it?
Yeah. That's his full name.
Does that mean someone's going to be the gate? He's the doorkeeper, someone's going to be the keymaster?
Right? Perks of the job.
Yeah.
I hope it's not Rick Moranis you get to fuck. I hope it's Sigourney Weaver for your sake, but either way.
There was also twin war gods, more Kachinas, the blue and the red ones, and the best one, a trickster coyote.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Voiced by Johnny Cash.
I hope so. Up your space coyote, I say it once, fucking give it again. I wish I knew it. I'd love a space coyote.
Oh man.
With Johnny Cash's voice, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So those are is that all the gods of the Hopi?
Yeah. They've got a very spiritual, naturalistic sort of mythology.
Yeah, I like this what they say. They say, there shall be a great battle of spiritual conflict regarding material possessions, and all who choose to covet them will be destroyed by the spiritual beings that survive the battle, creating a single people, a single nation, and a single unified consciousness, that of the Creator.
Or the New World Order.
Or the New World Order.
New World. Maybe the Hopi are on the side of the New World Order.
Well,
they got a bum deal out of it, didn't they?
Actually, Hulk Hogan...
What did they get out of it?
They live on a reservation now, so
Exactly.
that's on their land.
And Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall have reformed as the NWO and actually going on a signing tour of
Oh,
America.
thank God for that. They're going to see wrestling
So,
talk
no,
for a
they're not
second. I was
wrestling,
like, they can't fucking wrestle anymore.
They can barely fucking walk. I'm not sure how long they'll be standing to sign autographs.
They'll be sitting down a lot.
Yeah, there'll be chairs involved. But anyway, it could be a sign. The NWO is reaching its zenith of power.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, if Hollywood Hulk Hogan's back, then anything can happen.
He's sensing it. He's like, it's time to go back to the evil black.
Do you think he's part Hopi?
Possibly. He is a real American after all.
That's true. Scott Hall could be. I mean, he's Hispanic, Mexican.
No, he was pretending to be.
I always thought he was
No,
genuinely
he's
sort of.
very white. That's why his accent's so shit.
Well, I always thought he was just tan then.
Yeah, he's tan.
Oh, he's just really
a
tanned.
tanned guy with dark hair.
I always just
And
thought
they
he was.
made him say,
Chico. I used to he was punch drunk all the time.
I'm the man. There's a man. You know, it was awful.
Still, that ladder match was fucking awesome with Shawn Michaels.
It was great.
Was that the first ever one?
No, first one on a main event. The first one was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, but it was on like a house show as like a test. I have seen footage of it. Can we have a urine break, please, gentlemen?
Good call.
And we can get onto your PowerPoint presentation.
I'll present my
Your
academic investigation.
Okay, we'll do a break.
No.
So we're back, and now it's time for Gaz's academic investigation.
Yes, well, in our year, doing this show, you know, it's been brought to my attention that lizard men are a very real thing and they exist.
Evidently.
Shape-shifting lizard men.
And the Dell.
And then now today, researching this Hopi Indian prophecy, the thing that leapt out at me was ant-men.
Mm.
You know, that they claim to have met ant-men and interacted with ant-men who came from the inside of the ground.
Or grey aliens.
Well, they describe them as ant friends or ant people. So, this led me to ask the obvious question, the sorts of questions which is why I'm in this position as being a broadcast journalist.
Allegedly.
Who would win in a fight? Ant-men or lizard men? So,
we haven't gone through this question for a while, actually.
well, so I present to you my PowerPoint presentation, and we've been accused in the past of maybe being a little bit amateurish,
Yeah.
a little bit unprofessional.
An embarrassment to our country.
Yeah. What, pray tell, is more professional than a fucking PowerPoint presentation? Jesus Christ,
Well,
come on.
I've sat through a few of these in my management of time, so I want to lean back in my chair, cross my leg and enjoy.
I have pushed the boat out here, so could we have the next slide?
This
please,
is my
mate?
interested pose.
Yes, thank you. Oh no, that's not the next slide. Right, introduction. So, if on one side we have the ancient ant-men, and on the other we have the ancient lizard men, pitched to do battle to death in an effort to appease their Anunnaki overlords, and if we can assume that both these creatures are the proportionate size to a human with humanoid-shaped bodies, so ant heads or lizard heads with normal arms and legs, just like a He-Man toy.
Okay.
Next slide, please, Mike. You see, for example, Wasp Man from the He-Man toy range.
Yeah,
This-
just,
the
just
reason-
a muscular man with a wasp head.
Yeah, the reason but he's got the powers of a wasp.
Oh, so he can fly.
Yeah, look, he's got waspy wings.
Oh, so he has.
Has he got a stinger?
Has he got a what? A stinger? Possibly. But you see, the reason we're going with this model...
Isn't he just sticking? He's
for
got an
my-
axe.
Well, we're going with this model for my academic investigation because it just makes it easier. So they're both sort of uniformly, roughly humanoid in size and weight.
Yeah.
They've just got ant heads, lizard heads, and powers of the ant and the lizard.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Next slide, please, Mike. That really makes my academic... Oh, yes. And here we see an artist's impression by me of how the He-Man ant, Hopi Ant-Man might look.
Yeah.
Please note spliff in the left hand because he's from a peace tribe. But also he has lots of stabby knives.
Is that a hand grenade as well?
No, but that would be cool if I'd done that.
Is that he's just clenching his fist?
Yeah, it's just a clenched fist.
How many arms has he got?
6.
He's got 6. And 2 legs. I didn't Google how many arms and legs
They got 6.
an Ant-Man should have. Well, I got it right then, I know.
No, you got 8 then, haven't you?
2 of them are legs. They don't count. Next slide, please, Mike.
That's science, boy.
Fuck's sake, there's always one, isn't there?
Yeah. Fucking Richard Attenborough over here.
Yeah. And now we get to tail of the tape. We can see on the left the Ant-Man there, and in the background the Hopi Indian cave drawings of the Ant-Man.
I think it's taken a bit of a leap to put from square head man to sort of grey alien head man.
You know, they weren't necessarily the most sophisticated artists. They were scraping rocks onto other rocks.
Well, alright, fair
Do
enough.
you know what I mean? I mean, there's not much contouring or 3D highlights, you know, going on. I think you're being a bit judgmental. Well, to be honest, he does look shit. I've seen children's drawings better than that. But, and on the left, we have the lizard man, and he's holding a sign saying, "Free hugs." Because we've all hugged a lizard man without knowing it. So, on to the next slide, please, Mike. That really gets my inner academic quite hard, saying next slide. I feel all...
I'm surprised you're not using your dick as a
Intelligent.
pointer.
I couldn't find one. So, Ant-Man, the pros.
What, you couldn't find a dick?
Shut up. Don't ruin my presentation. The ant will have mandibles coming from its head, which could be used to choke or poke the eyes of the lizard. Plus, like, ew, mandibles, fucking gross.
You alright? Yeah?
That's a weapon in itself, just being gross. Would you like to read the next bullet point, please, Ben?
The ant will probably have multiple limbs. This will mean he could definitely do some seriously good Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Think about it, you could
Yeah.
put both your arms in an arm bar
Yeah.
and choke your fucking neck at the same time.
Yeah, you're right.
Dangerous. Would you like to read the next one, Mike?
Ants can lift objects much heavier than their own body weight. This almost superhuman strength means that the Ant-Man could throw cars at the lizard.
Yeah, or pick the lizard up and hurl him into one of them giant rocky crop things.
Throw him just
Like
so
Tom Cruise
high.
climbs at the start of Mission Impossible 2.
There you go. Yeah, throw
Throw him through one of them.
him so high in the air that he comes back down. He's definitely dead.
Yeah.
He just explodes.
He's broke the sound barrier on the way down.
Yeah. And I'll read the last one. The Ant-Man has weird bitey things on his face which could be used for biting and opening bags of crisps.
Important.
You know, bitey things. So we've done the pro. Oh no, let's go back. There's one more slide, Mike, before that.
Oh.
Ant-Man the cons, it's called. One before. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
I'll read the first one. The mandibles could be ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to read the next one, Ben?
As mentioned in the Hopi legend, very thin waist could be smashed with a good backbreaker or an atomic knee drop. Yeah.
Very flimsy design.
Yeah.
Would you like to read the next one, Mike?
Big eyes, lots of nerve endings, very sensitive. A claw in the eye will hurt like fuck.
Exactly.
No one wants a claw in the eye.
No, also they susceptible to boiling water.
I think most things are susceptible to boiling water.
Well, that's what you
I'd
do to
imagine the
ants,
lizards
isn't
would
it?
be.
If you've got an ant problem, you pour boiling water on them, don't you?
I would imagine that also lizard man would also be quite susceptible to boiling water in the face.
Oh, this is my
But
presentation,
he's got
Ben.
scales.
Yeah, he's also cold-blooded. That would really overheat him.
Also, this is my presentation. So
All right, okay, sorry. You're
Oh,
the manager here, guys.
let me play professor for a minute. The more arms you have, the more arms you could get broken off and beaten with. And I've heard that the soggy end is particularly nasty.
It is.
So the next slide, please, Mike. Lizard Man, the pros.
Right.
Strong connections to the Illuminati and links to world leaders.
Obviously.
Yeah. Would you like to read the next one, Ben?
Big fuck-off claws and bitey teeth.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Mike?
Cold, logical lizard brains, providing the knowledge to make Lizard Man a proficient and graceful killer.
Ooh. Graceful.
Yeah.
Like the Predator in many ways.
Like a ninja. Thick skin, extremely powerful back legs, could super kick a man's head off.
Oh, easy.
Clean off. Would you like to read the next one, Ben?
Ability to regenerate lost limbs. Can lizard do that?
Lizard men can.
Can they?
Shapeshifters, Illuminati, lizard
Can
people.
give them an arm, lose a limb? I don't
Oh,
know.
lizard. Some can. Yeah, some can
Yeah.
regenerate. Not all of them. Some can.
Salamanders, is it?
Is it salamander?
Something like that.
Fuck you, it's my presentation. Would you like to read the last one, please, Mike?
Ah, they can shapeshift.
Yes.
Your average lizard man, or just the elite lizard man who can grow his own limbs back.
Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Lizard man, the cons.
Okay.
Would you like to read the first one, Ben?
Big, long tongues could be stretched by opponent as used as a choking device. Valid point.
Mike?
Prefers lounging by the pool to having death matches.
You always see lizards just lying about in the sun, don't you?
Yeah,
Loving
that's
it.
true.
They could easily be distracted by CIA phone calls, invited to rituals, parties, sacrifices, that sort of thing.
I'd argue their tail could also be trodden on to hold them in place while you mercilessly pummel them.
Yeah, that would suck. So, next slide. Who wins? You decide. And there's me dad.
Donnie.
Dear old dad without his human mask on.
I think he looks better like that.
And so that was, you've been presented with the academic information, gentlemen. Now it's up to us to discuss who do you think would win then. And remember, if they're both proportioned like a He-Man toy,
Yeah.
so they're equal size and weight.
Ant-Man.
You going with Ant-Man?
Yeah.
I think he's got the most.
He's got the strength, he's got the bitey mandibles, which have got more range, multiple arms. He could stand on the tail, use his immense strength to hold the reptilian man in place,
Yeah.
and then just pummel him mercilessly with his 6 arms.
He could fight two of them at once, really.
He probably
in theory,
could, yeah.
couldn't he? Like I said, though, it might be a bit
But remember, you
susceptible
never,
if he's got.
you never get a single ant, do you? You always,
There's always a load of them.
always a load of them.
But if they have got those thin little wasty bits, like in real life, maybe you could just one well-placed super kick to the midriff could split them in half. But then the top half would still function and still fight you, wouldn't it? Probably, knowing an ant. They're weird. Remember when that decapitated bee's head attacked me in the van? And I have video evidence on our Facebook page, listener, of a decapitated zombie Terminator ant. No, bee. It was a bee.
You couldn't even hear the screams of the victim in the back of his van.
I'd already dumped the body.
And there you have it, a live confession.
Well, so we go, is that it then? We reckon Ant-Man's got it. Lizard Man doesn't get a look in, unless he calls in some of his Illuminati powers, like calls in an airstrike or something.
Predator drone on the ant hive, kills the queen. The ant, while he's getting his ass kicked by that ant, he calls in a predator strike on the ant hive, kills the queen. The ant just like freaks out, hasn't got a clue what's going on, and he's just stabbed in the back almost.
That could be a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one-on-one, Ant-Man's got it. So there you go. That was my
That was good. I liked it. It was informative and academic.
Thank you.
Was.
Thank you very much. Well,
thanks, Gaz.
I also have some, some actual what the real researchy people say about these ant.
Can they take a reptilian or just?
Nobody did interesting research like mine.
No.
They did this boring, actually interviewing the native First Nation people.
Can you not say Native Americans?
They're First Nations now. I do believe, because I literally asked Google
thought that was.
earlier.
I thought that was like maybe in Canada.
Oh no! I literally asked Google what's the
Right.
politically correct term for Native Americans.
Wait,
And
how
it said
could
First
you
Nation.
be politically correct after earlier?
What? I wanted to know what to call them. What do you mean after it? Hey, fuck you! That's going to be bleeped, so no one's going to know what we're talking about. Son of a bitch.
I'm going to be politically correct tonight.
You guys could really fucking bribe me and fuck me over on this one. So,
No, I was
I'm going to Google how to add in a bleep sound in Audacity, and we'll work it out.
Okay.
And then once we've learned how to do that, it's free reign. We can say whatever the fuck we want every week. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
So, shall I read you a little bit of what this research man said?
Okay, who is this research man?
This research man is called Gary A. David, who apparently spent 30 years of his life living with these. I did mention him earlier.
Yeah.
He wrote a book, his most recent book, is called Star Shrines and Earthworks of the Desert Southwest.
Ooh.
One of the most intriguing Hopi legends, involves the ant people, who were crucial to the survival of the Hopi, not just once but twice. The so-called First World, or World Age, was apparently destroyed by fire, possibly some sort of volcanism, asteroid strike, or coronal mass ejection from the sun, which is apparently what's going to happen again soon.
Allegedly.
The Second World was destroyed by ice. We've been through this, haven't we? Sorry, I won't repeat it. So,
The Third World was quite fun though. Them flying shields.
During these two global cataclysms, the virtuous members of the Hopi tribe, how are we saying it?
I said Hopi, but I could be wrong.
Okay, the Hopi tribe were guided by an odd-shaped cloud during the day and a moving star at night that led them to the sky god named Sotukang, who finally took them to the ant people, in Hopi, Anu Simnon. The ant people then escorted the Hopi into the subterranean caves where they found refuge and sustenance. We discussed that, didn't we? They basically taught them how to store food and shared their provision. Now, get ready for this bit. This is the bit that really fucking fired me up. So I'll read the whole paragraph.
I think the boners are kicked in.
I'm going to do reading. Edibles. The constellation Orion also has a thin waist, like the ants. Thin waist, right? When Orion dominates the winter skies, the ants are deep in their small underground hills. These structures are similar in form to the Hopi kivas, which are subterranean communal prayer chambers. Coincidentally, the Sanskrit word ki means anthill and va means dwelling. Each February, inside the kivas, the Hopi perform the bean sprouting ceremony, or the bean dance.
Ooh!
We're getting there, I'm about to blow your minds. Called Powaamu. During this time, the fires are continuously kept ablaze, turning these structures into superb hothouses. The ritual commemorates a time when the Anu Sinnom taught the Hopi how to sprout beans inside the caverns in order to survive.
The ant people.
It is interesting to note that the Babylon sky god was named Anu. The Hopi word for ant is also Anu.
Oh yes, yeah.
And the Hopi root word Naki means friends. Thus, the Hopi Anunnaki or ant friends may have been the same as the Sumerian Anunnaki, the beings who once came to Earth from the heavens.
To mine the gold,
Drop the
the
fucking mic. Not this mic.
or any
of the mics we're using. No. So yeah, could be linked.
All makes sense now.
And very similar drawings I saw online to the Hopi Indian drawings are seen in ancient Egypt and some of their engravings
I
as
saw
well,
that.
with the same antennae, could all be linked. I'll just read you one little bit more. This is quite interesting, and this is all research done by this chap Gary A. David. Find him online if you're into that sort of thing.
Don't stalk him though.
Yeah. The ant people may have also lived in ancient Egypt. I can't say that. The 18th dynasty pharaoh, who ruled from 1351 to 1334 BC, is shown in some depictions with an elongated skull like the shape of an ant's head. His almond-shaped eyes and neck are like the ant's, and either the serpent or the vulture on his ureus, I don't know what that word is.
Uterus?
No, he hasn't got teeth. Resembles the ant's mandibles. He also has spindly arms and legs like those of the ant, and his upper body resembles the ant's thorax, while his lower body mirrors the ant's abdomen.
I think I remember that picture.
Anunnaki king.
Right. Now he can specifically be compared to the pharaoh ant, which originated in West Africa. It also has an elongated head, a yellow to reddish brown body, and a darker abdomen with a stinger. Perhaps it is more than a coincidence that the Egyptian word Sahu means stars of the Orion, whereas the Hopi word Sohu means star, the most important of which are those in the constellation Orion. So that's it.
Wow.
They all seem a bit obsessed with this bit of stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did something come from there?
Well, aren't the three
Good
pyramids
question.
in Egypt? I don't know if the pyramids
They're
in
lined
Giza
up
are
with
they lined
Orion,
up with
yes.
Orion's belt, aren't they?
Everyone's
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
And I'm pretty sure that they're looking in that part of the galaxy now.
Well,
What's
if
that?
I remember correctly, aren't the Greys some like Zeta Reticuli,
Mm.
which is meant to be somewhere near Orion anyway?
You've got the Pleiades as well,
Yeah.
and all them, and
Oh, the Palladians. Oh man, what's their name again? Vrilli and his mob. They weren't Palladians. They were something else, weren't
they're
they?
from the Pleiades, aren't they? Yeah, they're...
Oh, that's Billy Meyer Palladians, or
And
Vili.
Vili is a Pleiadian, isn't he?
The Pleiades. Well,
That's it.
would you like me to read you a little quote from this is from that god who was called Sotukang, and he was around at the beginning of the Fourth World.
a
and
quote from a god?
yes, according to
Fantastic.
their oral tradition, which is passed down, he gives a quote, something along the lines of this: "See, I have washed away even the footprints of your emergence, the stepping stones which I left for you. Down on the bottom of the seas lie all the proud cities, the flying patuvavatas," which is those shields, the flying shields,
Yeah.
and the worldly treasures corrupted with evil, and those people who found no time to sing the praises to the Creator from the tops of their hills. But the day will come, if you preserve the memory and the meaning of your emergence, when these stepping stones will emerge again to prove the truth you speak. So basically, I'm fucking you off. He drowned everyone. Atlantis, all the cities
all
live
the
at the bottom of the
cities.
sea.
Yeah.
We're all going to go that way eventually, and then if we start to be thankful or something, he might give us the stepping stones back. Well, not us, we're fucked because we're not Hopi Indians.
Yeah.
But
We're the white demons.
yeah. See you in hell, boys.
Oh, see you at the bottom of the sea?
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah. We'll have scuba gear, won't we?
For a bit.
Helmets.
For a bit. Then we'll run out of oxygen.
Yeah. Good job, it's all bollocks then, isn't it? So yeah, that's basically all the research I've got. Anybody got anything else?
I'm done.
Nothing to add.
So should we try and add our conclusions, what we've learned from this little... Do you give these prophecies much weight, Mike? Do you think it's coincidence, or do you think they've got some insight
Well,
to fate?
it depends, doesn't it? Because with oral tradition, it's difficult to know which came first and what got changed along the way, and
Chinese whispers,
yeah.
which you're probably not allowed to say anymore. It's probably
And it
racist.
might have been changed because
I've got to watch myself. Shut up, man. Yeah. Continue, Mike, please.
So it's-
Shut up.
it might have been changed so that the prophecy fitted.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
difficult to say. I mean,
Not published till 59.
exactly.
Yeah, but that
You
just
can make up
could
what
be
you
one-
want at that point. I mean, most of them predictions are about, railways, roads, telecommunications, power lines. 1959, that's all that's there, isn't it?
Could be horse shit. Well,
But if we buy that the ant people were aliens,
That's what I was going to say
Well,
next.
I'm more
What do
likely
you
to
think
go
of the
for
ant
that part.
people?
you go for that part.
I'm more likely to go for that part.
What's your explanation of the ant cave drawings?
As with a lot of cave paintings, you can't go one way or another. At the end of the day, some bloke was doodling on a cave wall the same way that I doodle on the pad beside the house phone should I decide to actually answer it for once.
But
You know, all sorts crops up.
do you think he could have met alien people who
Maybe.
taught them how to read the stars?
Or maybe he thought, I don't know, let's see what people look like with square heads and antennae. I'll use some imagination. As you said earlier, they must have had imagination.
Maybe it was ancient sort of comic books. Instead of Batman, it was Ant-Man, literally Ant-Man. And that was his little story he'd wrote for the kids on the cave wall.
But I do like the idea that we've been sort of jumped along by aliens in our evolution along the line. Genetic tweaks here and there. So maybe the Greys have been in the centre of the Earth, and this is a test planet as such, almost, to help their dying race.
Because that's it.
To
People
get us to the point where we can to sort of kick-start their race to the point where
They can interbreed with us
they
to
can
save
interbreed with us to
themselves.
save themselves.
People like to link this one to the Hollow Earth, but I don't think the fact that the Ant-Men came up from caves doesn't necessarily mean Hollow Earth. You can go, as we discussed on our Hollow Earth episode, you can go quite deep into the ground. You can have very deep fucking caves. Doesn't mean they're from Hollow Earth. Maybe they did live underground, but not Hollow Earth. You don't necessarily have to taint it with the Hollow Earth people. Because I like the ant people. I knew nothing of these ant-men until today or yesterday when I first started researching, and it really took my attention. I was like, ooh, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Same with a lot of things we discuss. Could be fucking true, could not be. How the fuck am I to know? But I'd like to believe that there's a reason they're drawing ants, and the reason why people on the other side of the world
are drawing
the same thing.
See, that shit I like. You know, I the fact that people on completely different sides of the globe draw very similar things. The Egyptian pharaohs I don't quite go for, because the pharaohs did used to do skull binding, because that was a symbol of the royalty was trying to have an elongated skull. So, and they would exaggerate their godlike status in things, because remember, the pharaohs were gods to their people. So I don't necessarily go for that kind of thing. But did the aliens interact with us when we were a young species? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. We were a lot less dangerous than we are now. Let's face it. So, I mean...
We've always been pretty
actually,
dangerous, Ben.
Yeah, but...
Everything that's tried to come up against us has disappeared.
But Egyptian times, they've got chariots and bows.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, there's no tactical nuclear weapons.
No.
You know,
Okay.
actually, I went to the gym today, and my trainer I go and see, and we had some pretty cool
A
conversations.
trainer now, guys.
Yeah, I got a trainer.
Got an executive trainer to release his executive stress.
Exercise.
With some bondage.
Just exercise.
And a bit of
But we had some
frantic
cool
bumming.
conversations, and he said, I've got this theory why aliens have never come to see us. I'm like, alright. He was, basically, like, we're too much of a threat to be let out the jar. So if they make themselves known to us, we'll probably end up fighting them at some point.
That's such a typically arrogant human viewpoint. Isn't it more like we're so fucking insignificant and inconsequential in the grand scheme of things that no one's fucking bothered?
Or they just
with
wait until we reach a point when we're not utter dicks, which is what the Hopi are saying.
Well, they know we're going to fuck ourselves up anyway, and we're destined for
No,
doom.
really seems to think they can help us out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Billy's
fuck, you've done a brilliant job so far, haven't you? Really, you fucking ant-headed prick. I'm guessing he was an ant. I don't know what he was.
No, he's a blonde-headed,
Oh, yeah.
blonde-haired,
Oh, like me.
tall...
I'm brilliant. I'm a space sex Jesus.
Quiet down,
I
Trump.
wish. I do not resemble Donald Trump anymore in any way, shape or form. Shut up. You look like Donald Trump's butler, okay?
Rather be the butler than a relation to him, Gaz.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm taking his
Because the pay
paycheck. I'm
difference.
taking his paycheck and fucking his daughter.
Whose son? I'm not fucking my sister.
No,
I
I'm
probably
taking the
would.
paycheck and fucking his daughter.
You wouldn't.
I'm
You
a
get
butler.
executed for going off your designated fucking security cleared
Shot
areas.
collar or something.
Of course you
You just
would.
go missing,
They
mate.
wouldn't let the fucking grunts like you anywhere near the
He'd go
actual...
missing, wouldn't he, man? No one would give a shit.
They just
No,
find-
where's Ben?
It'd just be me and you sitting here while we... Well, I guess someone got to him. It was only a matter of time.
They find his bloated corpse all washed up on the fucking...
under the banks of the River Severn.
Yeah.
Oh man. Identified only by my tattoos.
Well, you will insist on spewing all this hate. I'm only joking, you're not that hateful. Please bleep out that word I said earlier, Mike, because he's going to torch me over
I've
that.
been in quite a good mood recently. So
To be fair, you have been...
You in a reggae box?
yeah, I've been in a very good mood. I'm quite happy. I'm quite fulfilled.
Oh, good on you. Notice how I don't mercilessly mock you for being happy like you did to me, which there is audio evidence of, which people can go back and listen to.
I was life coaching you. We've explained this.
Fucking life coach from him.
Can I tell you about a horrific...
Look at what happened. You wrote your own comic book. You tried to start a cult.
Don't take
You're in a
credit for my
You're in a
achievement.
relationship. Happy for...
Can I relate to
The
you...
nerve of the guy, guys. He's taking credit for everything you've
Can I
done.
relate a
By
horrific...
merely telling you you're a twat
No.
for weeks, I've turned you into a success. I'm
No.
a life coach now.
Oh yeah,
that's
I've
what I
been a
do.
success to spite you. No, listen, can I tell you a horrific experience I had involving Ben on Friday, Mike? You may sympathise with this. I was listening to a podcast in my earphones,
Oh yeah,
Right.
shit.
and I'd been texting Ben on Messenger, and then my phone must have pocket dialed him through Messenger, but it doesn't turn the podcast off.
Ah.
So I'm still listening to the podcast and trying to do a delivery, and I'm thinking now and then I can hear Ben's voice going, like over the podcast, like hello, hello, and I'm like, no,
And I said, there's no chance of Mike being awake at this point because it was like, it's
am I
about half
insane?
10.
I was in that group chat.
And I was like,
thing,
there's no chance Mike's going to pick this up.
I was asleep.
I thought, why the fuck am I hearing Ben's voice in my brain? I've finally gone schizo, because I could still hear the podcast, but there's Ben going, hello, hello, it's finally happened, I've broken. This is the cruelest form of schizophrenia imaginable. Ben's voice, not even my own voice.
Ben has replaced your own consciousness with his own. You don't want to do it like that.
No, why? But thankfully it wasn't true, so I didn't have to throw myself in front of a train, which would have been the only sensible outcome.
I was out walking the dog, so all Gaz was seeing of me was sky and trees and my head,
I was very
and I could
confused.
see Gaz's the wind blowing locks around as he was
It was very
talking
windy.
to a customer and trying to work it where he wanted something put in.
You should have fucked with him real bad.
Well, no, at
I
that
didn't
point,
know.
He's got a gun, you know. He's got a gun.
Because
He's going to use it.
I didn't see him towards the end. He was like, oh, because it must have been in your pocket.
it
'cause
was
I
in
couldn't
my
see
pocket,
anything.
yeah.
And I'm like, hello? And it's like, because we'd literally just messaged, and I thought he'd call me, because sometimes calling someone is quicker than typing something out. So
No.
I thought that was, so I was like, hello, hello, and then,
But the good news is I'm not schizophrenic,
Yet.
as far as I know, yet. Yeah. So yeah, does that conclude? I think that
Yeah.
concludes our Hopi Indian
Well,
discussion.
what is it? I don't do prophecy, so I don't go for the 9 things, but I do like the Ant-Men, sort of alien star people kind of aspect to it. That's really cool. I like that.
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yep.
Excuse
we,
me, sorry.
Crack on to some weird news and to finish
Yeah,
off, and then
yeah.
we'll go full Alex.
We'll wrap it up.
Possibly the only podcast with Alex Jones happening right about now.
Yeah.
Come to us for your Alex Jones
Yeah.
fix. Just listen to the rest of the show
If you're
first.
that
you can
desperate
hear it
for
now.
it.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
So, what's the first piece of weird news? Monkey Pox! First ever case of deadly disease diagnosed in UK. You don't want monkey pox, especially from Hartlepool. Monkey hanging bastards. The rare viral infection was recorded on Friday in Cornwall, of all
Oh
places.
fuck.
The patient is believed to have contracted the disease in Nigeria before travelling to the UK. Oh, it's going to be 12 monkeys all over
It
again.
is.
Monkey pox.
That's it.
Oh,
Started.
God.
Public Health England said monkey pox does not spread easily and most patients recover in a few weeks, so that's what they want you to think.
Yeah, there's a lot of this in the conspiracy community at the moment because of you heard about all the planes in America with different
Yes,
diseases.
I have, yeah.
People like to think they're experimenting, sort of doing false flags, testing things out because there's going to be a pandemic. Pandemic,
yeah.
is that the right word?
Yeah, pandemic.
Because we need to lose, let's be honest, a few tens of millions, don't we?
According
What
to
better
the
way?
Georgia Guidestones, isn't it?
Yeah, they want that doing. Something like 3 billion, I think. No more than 3 billion.
Apparently this is the way it's going to go down. Or the sun's going to have one of them massive, basically a sun fart and send us back to the dark ages by destroying electricity, which means tens of millions will die off because of disease and lack of heat.
No, I
shelter.
mean, the thing is, once alright, the electrics go, but I mean, there'd be a bit of time where there wasn't anything, but surely generators would start to be made and, basic generators, things like that. And
Take a while though, wouldn't it?
6 months
Yeah.
tops for the infrastructure's kind of back up and running a little bit, where you have got some power and stuff.
I don't know how long it takes to
I mean,
build society.
it blows certain parts out of... The thing is, it would only blow certain components out of the transformers and things like that.
Yeah, but they
I
say...
mean, yes, it would
how long
take down the
before-
manufacturing capacity to replace those. But there's spares.
How long before society breaks down?
Oh, about 3 days,
Well,
probably.
that's what I mean. That's the old saying, isn't it? That each civilization is only 3 meals away from a revolution.
Only 3 days away.
But the thing is, there's no point in having that revolution because there's still fuck all anyway. There's no power, is there?
We know who's got it all, don't we?
Yeah, that's true. It's all stockpiled in the houses of the reptilian elite.
There you go.
With their Ant-Men soldiers.
Yeah, they aren't grazer soldiers. They're weak.
It's not
the Ant-Men you want.
The
They're
trouble,
not
with,
graze.
the trouble with the world is not that there's not enough stuff, it's that some people are hoarding it. Do you know what I mean? They use
Yeah.
up more resources than others.
Speaking of which, I need to start hoarding more food.
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna
tin cupboard's
become
looking a bit bare.
Yeah. Better get back to Aldi. So yeah, should we get back to the news?
So, monkey flu, monkey pox.
Monkey pox.
Yeah, look out for
Initial
it.
symptoms include fever, headache, aching muscles, backache, swollen lymph nodes, chills, and exhaustion.
I've had all those things.
I had at least 3 of
I've had
those.
all those things.
You're in the
literally.
fucking flat with us with monkey pox.
Shit.
He's got
sorry.
monkey box! Get out of here!
I haven't.
Hit the quarantine.
Yes, I can see you swollen lymph nodes for you.
Are you doing a monkey impression or that bit from Down with the Sickness?
I can see you swollen lymph nodes. Get out of here.
That's just my. I'm excited.
It's a jowl.
Because we're talking. I've not even got jowls. For the listener, I'm perfectly slim, slender human being without a baggy, jowly face.
He is the thinnest man in this flat. In all
Yeah,
fairness.
he is, yeah.
I haven't got jowls.
That's because the ghost of Winston Churchill.
I haven't got monkey AIDS either, for that matter.
monkey pox.
Monkey pox. Moving on. Yeah, look out for monkey pox. Don't
Yeah.
fuck anybody who.
Looks quite nasty, actually.
It does. It looks like 1,000 warts.
Monkeypox can cause extreme lesions on the skin and lead to death in some cases, but it does not spread easily between people, and the risk of transmission to the wider public is very low until it evolves into some hellish, nightmarish future plague.
Yeah.
This is how it starts.
Dr. Nick Finn, Deputy Director of the National Infection Service at PHE, said, PHE and the NHS have well-established and robust infection control procedures for dealing with cases of imported and infectious disease, and these will be strictly followed to minimise the risk of transmission. So, off the top of my head, conspiracy theory. They release that, it goes fucking rogue, it evolves, before you know it, everyone's covered in these lesions, dying a very slow, agonising death. Not too quick.
Yeah, but unless
The
they've got
NHS
the antidote, they don't want to release it.
Hang on. The NHS is completely overwhelmed by demand. Private healthcare is brought in immediately. If you've got the cash,
Branson's got the cure.
Branson's got the
See
cure.
Branson dancing around. Oh, the
Dancing
cure.
around with money falling over his naked oiled body in some kind of crystal maze, crystal dome type sort of structure,
Yeah.
right? Singing "I'm in the money, I'm in the money," right? So he's got it, and several other people have got it. We're all shelling out whatever money we've got to get it. The poor don't get it, they're killed off. There's your population reduction. Only the fucking people who work and have got money can survive. There you go. Monkey Pox is the way that humanity is going to go. I'm sold.
It's a very sound theory, and I'm glad you shared it. So, I hope I don't get monkey pox AIDS.
Too late, you've already got it.
Fuck you, it's space AIDS.
Or just regular AIDS.
It's space AIDS. Way cooler.
Did you fuck a space prostitute?
Yeah,
fucked
in
a
a
monkey,
really
didn't you?
cool fucking bar full of space smugglers and
Or
pirates.
one of them chimps that went into space in the early days and came back late.
Moving on.
Moving on.
There was a space hooker, not a monkey.
Space hooker. Were you Han Solo in this scenario?
No, I wasn't solo, I was fucking a space hooker.
He fucked a monkey.
Read the next news story, somebody please. I'm shocked and appalled and offended.
Oh god, someone do that one because I'm stuck on.
Okay.
I'm giggling a little bit.
Tony Blair emerges as shock contender to become next chairman of the Premier League.
Saint Tony back in the Prem.
He's back!
What's he gonna fucking do? Blow up fucking Man City? Fucking carpet bomb them. Kill their youth team. Fucking WMDs. You all saw them. They had WMDs. So I carpet bombed them back to the Stone Age, just like I did in Iraq. That's why you voted me in, isn't it? Sing them a song, Cherie, quick. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Fuck, this is a nightmare for sports fans everywhere.
I should put that as the is it the Barclays Premier League still now? Or who sponsors the Premier League now?
I don't even know, to
I
be
think it's
honest.
Barclays, yeah. I think.
Newcastle United fan Blair, well god, he's 65
He
now.
looks old, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's the
He's
face of a fucking murderer. He
It's the
has
face
to
of-
live with himself.
It's the face of a war criminal, isn't it?
Have you aged, Tony? Is it the weight of carrying all the souls of the dead children on your guilty shoulders, Tony? Is that why you look a bit old, Tony?
Well, he's seen as
That'd be a
having
great sitcom, wouldn't it?
Tony Blair's conscience as a withered elderly figure appearing on his shoulder.
There's blood on those hands, Tony! Blood on those hands! Get out of my hair!
Well,
Well,
You
apparently
can run, but you can't hide your war criminal.
he's seen as having the right profile and charisma to lead the mega league.
Oh my life.
shall we read it?
Oh yeah.
Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair has been mooted as the next chairman of the Premier League, according to reports. Newcastle United fan Blair, 65, is seen as having the right profile and charisma to lead the mega-rich 20 club
That's
league.
why he's there, isn't he?
Yeah.
He left
That's why he
office
wanted-
in 2007 after 10 years at number 10 Downing Street. The Daily Mail report that other candidates include BT chief Gavin Patterson and Sky Sports boss Barney Francis. However, appointing them might alienate other rights holders. Former PM Blair makes no secret of his love for Newcastle and has spoken of watching the Toon just after the Jack Milburn era. He even declared his favourite 50th birthday gift was a number 9 shirt signed by Alan Shearer. In 2014, the Mirror reported how Blair's son Nicky was trying to make his this sentence makes me sick. Blair's son Nicky was trying to make his fortune as a football agent.
Oh.
What
That's
a
typical.
wanker, that's typical, isn't it? You know,
Dad, you'll get me into them clubs.
a world-class wanker obviously
Makes
spawns
you sick.
a fucking, top-tier class wanker, a football agent, war
Yeah.
criminal, football agent.
Not much difference, is there?
Oh, no.
No scum.
Yeah,
Oh, it's bad.
fucking
Wasn't
hell.
there
What's he
something
know about running a Premier League? They don't bomb anyone.
I always remember though when he went on Football Focus one morning as Prime Minister, and he spoke about football. And you know what? he was either suspiciously well informed
Yeah.
or genuinely
He
a
kept
football
saying that
fan.
Wigan centre-back, Arjen de Zoo or something.
No,
wasn't
it was De Zoo, and there was also the Fulham player.
Yeah.
Well, can you
But
imagine?
it's like not the really obvious ones.
No.
It's like the ones
It
who
was,
were...
they do like hard workers where they don't get the headlines.
Well,
Yeah.
can you
I can't
imagine
remember
the
that Fulham
interview?
player's name now. I'm sure he was. Oh.
Can you imagine the interview
man.
with the Premier League? Though? So, Tony, nice to meet you. What have you been doing in between the Premiership, being the Prime Minister, and now this job here? Well, I was a Middle East peace envoy. Oh, right. So, how's the Middle East?
Still on fire.
Well, it's still fucked, isn't it? I mean, would you say it's less fucked or more fucked than when you took the job, Tony? Oh, it's definitely more fucked. Right. And so what do you think you're going to do with the Premier League, Tony? Hope they'll run it into the ground?
For profit?
Yes. You know. And run off into the distance, laughing my ass off and leaving you all to burn. You've got the job. I mean, come on, how can anyone give him a job in anything ever again? I was Middle East peace envoy. How did that go, Tony? How's the Middle East?
And don't remember the wasn't it something to do with the Save the Children patron
Oh,
as well?
fucking
Yeah.
hell. That's
After
just
the million kids that died in Iraq.
the fucking
And also-
nuts on him.
And he won Philanthropist of the Year. Forget that.
Mate.
Philanthropist, sorry.
It just tells you right out how bullshit our fucking media are, how bullshit our fucking society is. When they, it's quite clearly that he's a fucking war criminal. And they
Got
just,
the MDs.
yeah, they're just doing it just to make him look good, giving these fucking awards.
Yeah.
It
Guys,
makes you sick,
Guys, you don't
mate.
watch. You don't watch the news, do you?
As little as
Right,
possible.
so were you aware this week that a white guy drove into a crowd of worshippers outside a mosque up north
Thankfully I wasn't. In Britain?
in Britain? Yeah,
Oh man, no I wasn't.
No.
That sucks.
but that happened.
Yeah.
It was a racist attack. It was a terror attack, but
And
it
it's
was
Tony's
barely
fault.
reported in the press in this country.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was just seen as a racist attack rather than a terrorist attack.
Well, we did learn our press is less reliable than Namibia and Suriname.
Yeah,
Yes.
the proud nations of Namibia and Suriname.
They've got a more free press than us. I mean, come on.
I mean, so, I usually use the example, not mockingly, just
Yeah,
because
but I was gonna say,
you
though-
don't watch the news, you like that bubble.
No. Pros and cons. Pros and cons though. Yes, they have a free press, but I bet our roads are in a better condition, aren't they? Less
I bet
potholes.
we've got a better infrastructure than them.
Well,
I bet
yeah.
there's less AK-47s on the streets of Britain.
Just about.
Well, yeah, maybe, but that might be a close one actually.
All the police cuts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So fuck you, Saint Tony. Is there another story? Or is
Yeah,
it
there's
full,
one more.
Alex? One more.
Okay, alright. Can I do this
Go on
one?
then.
Children possessed by 200 demons levitated and walked backwards over walls in front of hospital staff, from the dailymail.co.uk by Linda Warren.
Did they?
I want you to have the credit for this one, Linda.
Did they, Linda? Did they?
Police and medical staff document America's real-life possession. Official reports claim boy, 9, walked backwards up hospital walls and police captain was too scared to enter family's haunted house. Latoya Ammons moved into a home with her mother and 3 children in Gary, Indiana in 2011 and started hearing footsteps in the basement. Over time, she and her children, aged 12, 9 and 8, became, quote, possessed. Their eyes would bulge, they'd shake and growl. A clairvoyant said the home was haunted by 200 demons, exactly 200.
Fucking.
The sons were taken to hospital after one was inexplicably thrown into the house, while there was a nurse and a CPS worker saw him walk backwards up a wall.
That would freak you out, though, wouldn't
It
it?
fucking would, to be fair. If you just got up and walked backwards on that wall, I am staking you through the fucking heart. And then,
Especially if you said Shimon.
Just a party trick, Bell, you fucking bastard!
Magnetic boots. You've gone straight through the main artery.
I know, that's why I aimed
100
there.
seconds to live!
Oh,
Awesome.
oh.
Think before you stink.
That's an important rule for life. Think before
One of them service public service offence.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Excuse me for coughing, listener. I'm still ill as fuck.
Your friend may look like a vampire, but think before you stink.
Don't drink and stink.
That's the time you stood steak. You're a fat nest of vampires sober.
No, you could wake up like that guy from Amityville and realise you've staked your whole family.
Yeah, that's after my sister and I were having an incestuous affair and shot them all.
Alright, calm down.
Well, that's what happened in Amityville.
It doesn't mean you have to shag your sister.
I haven't got one, it's okay, it's a scenario.
Oh, man,
Shag your mom instead.
I think this might be our cuffiest episode.
No,
yet.
because she's getting shot in the head, isn't she? It's a king the fat. Oh, forget it. Right, where were we? A veteran police chief became too afraid to enter the home at night.
Fucking pussy.
A Catholic priest carried out exorcisms on the Ammons. That's the family. A 9-year-old boy walked back to the wall because the unlikely sending event was detailed in official documents after a child services caseworker and a nurse both say they saw the guy glide backwards on the floor, wall and ceiling. Both were shocked to see the boy apparently float after their mother had been subject to months of skepticism when she claimed her home in Gary, Indiana was haunted and all 3 of her children were possessed by demons.
What's the source of this news?
This is the Daily Mail. We can listen to exclusive audio of the demon.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck.
Latoya Ammons and her 12-year-old daughter also levitated in the home. She's a summoned. Fantastic. And all 3 of her children showed signs of being possessed, including evil smiles, unnaturally deep voices. Miss Ammons' home was officially exorcised by a Catholic priest who said the ceremonies were officially authorised by the Diocese of Gary. Gary, Indiana. Not just some bloke called Gary. You're in the Diocese of Gary now. Some bloke on
What?
Tupac.
What are the Diocese of Gary, mate? Thou shalt not miss. I can't think what it's called. What's the type of fucking racing they watch?
NASCAR.
Oh yeah. Thou shalt not miss NASCAR on a Sunday. Ever. I'd follow him.
I actually quite like NASCAR.
I don't really like him.
I don't really like motorsport. I
Me
can't
either.
stand Formula 1.
I should like
But
him, but I don't.
NASCAR is just constant. It's just there. It's just and you don't really
That's the shittiest reason I've ever heard.
The thing is, you don't really watch
It's
it.
just there.
Oh, they're screaming around the circle. Well, they're going in all them shit little
I
corners.
fucking love football, man. I love football. It's there, man. It's there.
But you don't really sort of watch it. You
So I
watch.
go up to my missus and say, I love you so much. Because you're just there.
Oh man. But what my point is, you don't really watch it. It's there,
You're so
but you don't really watch it. You eat steak and get drunk.
Well, yeah, I never watch it.
It's like Formula 1, where people go and set a car going a track every 3 minutes. Oh shit.
Okay, I think we've fallen into just belligerent, drunken, anti-whatever's on my mind ramblings.
Alright, whatever.
I hate Formula
Should we
1.
listen to this demon?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was just trying to fill time.
Let's see if we got anything. Yeah, I don't,
I'm going to ask.
yeah. Huh. But they said, they would hear stuff in the basement.
Wait a minute, hold it.
Come
Somebody was burning counties back here too. Look.
Oh, wow.
That's been the demon.
Yeah, somebody was burning counties back there too. Wait a minute, hold it. They were burning counties here.
Oh, they're burning stuff all over the place here.
That's well.
I'm surprised the fire department hasn't been here.
Huh? Okay.
It's like a whisper
I'm
going.
surprised the fire department hasn't been
Is
here.
that it?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Can't tell it's
Is
fucking
that it?
bollocks.
That's it. I was expecting get out.
Yeah, sorry, listen.
Yeah, that was bullshit. We'll cut that. Cut that bit. It was
Nah,
bollocks.
don't cut it. It's alright. They could hear the. You know, we didn't know it was going to be a bullshit. If something says listen to the exclusive audio of the demon here, you know.
No, I expect to hear a fucking demon.
Well, we saved them from clicking on it.
Fucking clickbait bullshit, innit?
Fucking
Yeah.
Daily Mail clickbait bullshit. Daily Higham. Fuck you, Daily Mail.
Well, there we go. Were children possessed by 200 demons?
No, they weren't. She's had to have attention. There we go.
Yeah.
She's 32.
What
She's got
about
3
the
kids.
boy
One of
walking
them's
backwards
12.
at the ceiling and there?
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
They've all concluded to come up with a joint bullshit story, and I'm having none of it. So yeah, have we got
That's it. We've got Alex next.
right. Should we
We've
have
got
a
a quick break.
little break, and then we'll do the game show.
Yeah. And we're back, and we'll end the show on a bit of Never Go Full Alex.
Never.
The most popular game show in this flat.
Certainly is.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Would you like to explain the rules, dear chap?
Yes, the idea is Mike finds us a couple of random weirdos on the internet who are saying some batshit insane crazy things, and then he finds us a clip of Alex, maybe going full Alex.
Yeah, and we have to decide who's gone the most batshit insane, i.e. the most full Alex this week. The two random strangers, or St. Jones himself.
Some of St. Jones battling for his sainthood.
Yeah, well, just if this is your first episode, it's a sarcastic sainthood that we have appointed upon him. But
Like St. Tony and
Yeah.
St. Ike.
and Saint Ike. So
I
yeah,
also point out the chest of the show cat has entered the room, so if you hear any meows,
cat-related
cat-related noises, that's
bangs on the microphone. It's not us being ridiculously unprofessional and also inebriated, allegedly. It's the cat. So yeah, who's this first lunatic, Mike?
Okay, first up we've got Rick Joyner that says sin, not climate change, is responsible for Hurricane Florence.
Well,
Wow.
what a sensible argument, and I can't wait to hear it laid out in logical fashion.
I read where the Washington Post is blaming the storm on President Trump. Now, personally, I think it's the Russians. It has to be the Russians, but you got to be kidding me. How crazy can you be? I mean, they were literally saying he has to take the blame for this storm because of his belief on climate change or lack of belief in climate change. If he had rabidly believed in climate change and done all he could that they say needs to be done to correct climate change, the storm would have still come. Trust me, that he couldn't have done anything. I mean, how crazy are these? And all it does make the climate change people look like bigger nuts than ever. And more than dumping too much CO2 into the air or anything else, the scripture makes it clear what causes these things. It is sin. Sin, which is clearly defined in scripture. One of the worst things we could do to bring curse on a nation is the shedding of innocent blood. What could be more innocent than the unborn? And look at what America's doing. And there are many other factors. And that's what we need to be looking at.
Well, that was a nonsensical ramblings of a random bearded man in the woods.
And I was slightly distracted because through the headphones I could either hear he must have had a dog sat at his feet which was panting,
I thought he was getting tattooed at
or
one point.
he was having an under the camera masturbatory freak out.
I heard him buzzing at one point. Like, see,
It
getting
might have been a
tattooed.
tree getting cut down, or a dog panting, or a wank. I don't know, either or. He's fucking mental.
He'd argue you're mental and he's not.
That's the problem with these people.
Lunatic number 2. What's the fucking... Jesus, we may have peaked. Although somehow I always think that, and then you manage to find somebody even more fucking... And then Alex himself comes on at the end. God bless him.
Okay, next up we got Paula White, who tells Trump that history will record his greatness for generations.
Wow.
So, thank you again to all of my friends and faith leaders for being here tonight. You are really special people. The support you've given me has been incredible, but I really don't feel guilty because I have given you a lot back, just about everything, I promise. And as one of our great pastors just said, actually, you've given us much more, sir, than you've promised, and I think that's true, in many respects. And now I would like to ask a tremendous friend of all of ours, Pastor Paula White, to come up and bless our meal. Paula, please.
It's an honor to be here, and before we pray the prayer, this group would like to present to you and First Lady a Bible that is signed by over 100 Christians, evangelicals that love you, pray for you, and I'd just like to read the inscription for you and First Lady. It's very important I have to put on my glasses, so sorry. It says, First Lady and President, you are in our prayers always. Thank you for your courageous and bold stand for religious liberty and for your timeless service to all Americans. We appreciate the price that you have paid. To walk in the high calling, history will record the greatness that you have brought for generations. We pray this prayer, and if all of you agree with that, say amen. Amen.
Well, she's just literally just sucking his dick.
Okay.
She's mentally sucking his dick. He's thinking of her sucking his dick while she's saying that.
Probably. Very, very probably. Well, shall we have the final round?
So let's just recap, because So first guy says, the hurricane is caused by sin. It's not climate change.
Yeah.
Sin.
Second one.
She's saying that they're praying that Trump's greatness will be remembered for generations.
They're not even praying for it, it will be recorded for generations. So, let's hear what the man himself...
But did you see how orange he was?
Yeah, I think there was something going on with the contrast of that video. He's not quite that orange. He is orange as fuck, but that was almost like somebody doing a sketch of him. So, yeah, St. Alex has fallen on hard times, but he'll always be held in high regard around these parts.
Possibly the only place you're going to hear Alex Jones soon.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mike's vast library.
Yep.
Yeah, boy! Let's hear that crazy fucking
Alex
news.
Jones says that globalists are using cell phones to commit silent, invisible Holocaust.
Okay, well that's going to take... That's impressive.
You need to realize if you want to talk about something that's killing millions of people, not 40-something, how about you talk about radiation? How about we have walkouts in schools over cell towers on top of schools? How about we have walkouts over cell phone radiation? How about we have walkouts over all of that? Because this is what kills thousands of times what guns do every year. And this is how the globalists in this silent, invisible Holocaust are killing everybody in their plan. And the globalists have these Wi-Fi free retreats out in the middle of the wilderness that they're living in. A lot of the top billionaires are moving to the middle of nowhere, as I've told you, and as is now admitted. Northern Canada, Kauai, Hawaii, Tasmania, New Zealand, and you read about these Wi-Fi free elite resorts and Wi-Fi communities that are Wi-Fi free. And they're all hardwired. If you go to Zuckerberg's house and you look at even some of the photos, they try to control. I've seen it. It's plugged in, because then the radiation is chained down through that electron chain. It is not just blasting out like a radiation bomb.
Is it plugged in?
It does make sense that Mark Zuckerberg would have his house hardwired, though.
Mm. Oh, do you know what I heard this week? I've never thought about this before with Alex. That the word globalist means Jew.
Could be.
Allegedly. I don't know. He strenuously denies it. But yeah, oh god.
Well, I'd say with Ike, the lizard men, they think lizard man.
Yeah, they did. They tried to accuse Ike of that, and he turned around and was like, "Oh no,
no lizards."
And I've got to say, I believe David.
Yeah, but he does go on about anti-Zionism, doesn't he?
Well, you're allowed to.
Yeah,
your opinions.
Of course you are.
But I'd like to say my
I'm just
first
saying that-
initial thoughts, before I forget, because we're quite high this week, because a listener baked us a lovely cake.
Yes, thank you, Bev.
A special cake.
Fantastic.
The second video, when Donald Trump was doing his introduction, he forgot the word for people.
He did.
He's such a lizard man. I don't remember the exact wording, but he was like, you're all great, lovely people.
It's true.
What does that tell you?
It's like that scene at They Live.
Yeah.
At the end.
There you go. Where the banquet, where they're all in there. He's so used to dealing with fucking lizard people and like the satanist, like fucking interdimensional hell beasts who run the shadow government. Yeah, he forgot the word for people. I think. See, the first one is clearly. The second one, I think, is just your typical
She's
religious
just
bullshit. Yeah, it's your typical, and it's a dinner hosted by the president.
Yeah, but how much bullshit is he talking?
Oh yeah, it's bullshit, but come on,
It's not going full
standard.
Alex.
There was no fucking aliens. There was no supernatural forces involved, really. The first guy is saying sin actually affects. The amount of sin happening in America has a direct physical effect on the geological weather conditions required to initiate a hurricane event.
Yeah.
Right? Alex is saying, now, I've often said this is a thought experiment. I can't be the first person to think this because I'm not that clever, but I'm sure everyone's had this thought. But I love bringing it up when I'm really super high. Imagine if we could see with our eyes Wi-Fi and radio signal and all the... It would look like a mash of spaghetti in front of us, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
You'd think it would like the room in front of us now, the sky above us. It would just be a mass of it everywhere, wouldn't it? That's got to maybe have some effect.
Our brains are
on
electrical,
us.
so
Exactly, that's got to maybe have some effect on us that we don't know about or we're not being made aware of.
I do agree with that.
Possible. Whether I think it's the globalists or, quote, Jews, allegedly, doing it on purpose to cause a mass sort of holocaust, a silent holocaust.
it's taken a very long time, this holocaust.
Yeah, it's a very slow holocaust, isn't it? So, but what's more insane though, thinking sin caused... I think first guy's got it for stupidity reasons.
Yeah.
That's my conclusion.
Yeah, I'm with Gaz,
Yeah, I agree. First guy gets it.
Alex is just spouting his usual brand, but he's something that has to be afraid of, innit?
Because the next part of that video that we didn't show is what Alex does so beautifully, which is what the government have crippled him from doing now, is he would lead into that beautifully, seamlessly, by telling you about, we got these new, I had this report come in from Sony, we got these new lithium-ion tricyclisamine tablets. Available for only $99.99 for a 6-month course, and folks, these really have been proven to protect you from Wi-Fi and signals and cleanse the body and blah blah. That's his entire. That's why the guy is a multi-millionaire. I didn't really realise it till clicking on thinking about it this week due to a podcast I listened to explaining his empire and how it works. So he's very clever.
Yeah.
But he's not babbling insanity. It's just his... Oh, fuck him. Yeah, I've run out of words. I'm very stoned. I'm sorry, listener. That's horrific audio. Not very professional. Quality control at a minimum. I am afraid. Somebody take over.
Okay, well, let's call it a day then. We've gone through Paul Alex. We all agree first guy wins it.
Yeah.
We've gone through the Hopi prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
And do we think they're genuine? No, probably not, but we all like the idea of Ant-Men.
Yeah.
Fighting lizards in a very entertaining academic presentation.
Yes, thank you. And can we just say, because there is a picture of my artist's impression of the Ant-Man on our Facebook page, which we'd really like to... We're trying to build up a nice little community of conspiracy memes and not taking conspiracies all that seriously, really.
No.
So yeah, find us on Facebook. Literally search for Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. Give the page a like and follow along and see all the fun stuff that we post. And links to everything we record, and it's a good hub. If you stumbled upon this episode, I don't know, by accident, it's the first one you listen to, a good place if you want to follow us and stick with us. Find that Facebook page, and you won't miss anything that we do then, basically, will you?
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
And follow us on Twitter at Apocalypse Born.
Yeah.
Leave us a review on iTunes. That'd be nice.
Yes.
Nice reviews though.
Yeah, if
please.
you got something nice to say, we'd love to hear it. Thank you very much. We enjoy doing it, but we'd like to know that you enjoy hearing it too.
And if you've got any suggestions for episodes as well, then you can inbox us on Facebook.
That would
nice.
actually be really useful.
Yeah, anything you want to hear us talk about?
Yeah.
We'll consider them all.
Yeah.
Definitely. Awesome. Let's do it.
So yeah, I've been Ben. I'm going to say don't drink the Flavour Aid and please don't join a cult.
I'll say I've been Gaz. Good night and free Biff Tannen.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening and thanks for the brownies.
Yes, thank you very much for the brownies.
Peace out. May the force be with you.
Is that Jedi course going, Mike?
Still not starting.
I'm a Jedi. Fuck you.
The ramblings of a stone Jedi. You got one with a force now, mate.
Never mind the fucking Hopi Indians. That's your wisdom.
I'm a Jedi. Fuck you. I'd love to see that Quentin Tarantino version of that, Mike.
Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try. Just like Mike's trying to pass this course by not doing anything. Right. Good night.
I'm going up to it.
Good night.